Here's a brief history of GIS. The idea of taking one clear map and overlaying it on another map has been around for a long time, but it wasn't until around the 1960s that this whole process started to get automated by computers. The first real GIS was the Canada Land Inventory System, which was developed by Roger Tomlinson in the early 60s. In the United States, the U.S. Census Bureau was the first to adopt GIS with their DIME system because they needed to know where physical objects on the ground like roads and rivers and such were so that they could establish their census tracts and census boundaries. GIS was adopted by the Harvard Laboratory for Computer Graphics during this time period, and a lot of innovations in the computer science side of things happened at that point. As the Harvard Laboratory broke up, one of its members, Jack Dangermond, started a company called Esri, which was one of the earliest and is still the most popular of the GIS vendors. Also at that time in the 70s, countries started sending satellites into orbit, such as the Landsat satellites that were launched by the United States. And suddenly all of this geographic information was being collected on a regular basis and had to be stored and analyzed. Moving into the 1980s and 1990s, this is really when GIS software became quite commercial. The first GIS software to be developed was the Esri product, similar to the one we're still using, which was called at that time ArcInfo. Also at that time, GIS textbooks started to come out, global data sets were developed, and also things started to be more codified or have rules associated with them, associated with two executive orders of Bill Clinton's. One was for the NSDI and the other was for the FGDC. The NSDI is the National Spatial Database Infrastructure, and the FGDC is the Federal Geographic Data Commission. In more recent years, in the 2000s, the internet has really become a major way in which maps are served or delivered to the public, and this trend seems to be continuing. GIS now has more than 1 million active users, people using this in their work and making maps with it. And also what these users are doing has become much better defined, especially by the U.S. Department of Labor, which has come up with a competency model in order to say what people working in the field of GIS should be able to do, what their competencies should be.